Hello. Luckily, I didn't get too far in before I noticed it wasn't recording. Um, Excuse my hair. It's a little poofy right here. Okay, that's gonna drive me nuts. Hold on. I like symmetry. Um, so the last hospital story I talked about a doctor. Um, I doubt he's alive anymore. Um, So his name was Dr. Lefevre, the one that was pushing ECT, and it turned out he was doing a study or involved in a study. I don't know. It's like a Dr. Frankenstein kind of situation. Somehow, at see my I can't remember this period of time very well at all because the ECT that I did end up getting um, really messed up my memory, particularly of that time frame of late 90s to through the 2000s, and and I was in and out a lot, and medications were not working, and um, so it's all kind of fuzzy and running into each other, and so these are just stories. I have them in chronological order. I just don't know what happened in between to get me there. Like the next thing I remember, I was on a unit to get ECT. Now, um, I do remember I had a different doctor. I had a better doctor, I thought. Except he was one of those that every time I saw him, he'd put me on a new medication. And God, I feel like I talked about this already. Maybe did I talk about it in my head while I was preparing? I don't know. I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself. Like I said, it's messed up. Um, he would just add a new pill, and he was yeah. Cause see, I'll just go through it. He would add a new pill, and then he thought, see what happens when I get manic, like manic, which hasn't happened in an extremely long time. I've only had hypomanias for some time. But manic, I become obsessed with a person. It could be a person I know, like have met, an acquaintance, someone I work with, someone lives in my apartment building, um, an actress I see on TV, and and it's very bizarre. So, giving you that wonderful bit of information, um, this was my second time that this happened this bad. I'm I'm not going to go into the first one. Ex- that's a whole different video. And but the second one that landed me in this hospital, well, that I saw a movie and became obsessed with not just the character in the movie, but the movie itself. This movie is something that everybody who has bipolar 1 should avoid at all costs. It is full of color and sound and music and drama and like just lots of stimuli and Moulin Rouge. So it came out in the theaters, and apparently I didn't know this, someone told me that I would go to see this movie like 2 times a day. Like I would plan it out around my work, and I felt I was never higher than sitting in that seat watching this movie for I don't know how many times, 25 or more, I know that much. Um, just a big smile on my face because of all that color and action and boldness and the storyline, and just was heaven for someone who is in the midst of mania. And I do own the DVD, but I'm afraid to watch it. But what I have found in the past is if I watch something, I'm like, why did I get so hooked on that? But that's what got me in the hospital the first time. Oh, that was a doozy. Um, but um, the danger is that my obsessions would lead to stalking behaviors. And I'm very candid about saying that because I know that there are people out there with bipolar 1 disorder who have been in the midst of manias doing things they're ashamed of, embarrassed about, nobody else knows but them. And I know I'm not the only one that has scary manias. And so I'm just saying to put it out there. You're you're not alone. Um so I was just anyway. So I as my pattern is, I have an up and a down, and my if my up is really really high, my low's going to be really really low. As of right now and for a very long time, I just kind of do a little like kiddie roller coaster. I'm not like at the amusement park on the ninja going in circles and stuff. I haven't done that in a really long time. The depressions still get me though. Um, I had been depressed. Think this was I was there. It's not like it was um, euphoric in the beginning. It felt really good. And then as I go into the depression, I usually have a period where I understand that I am having thoughts I don't want to have, and I start to not like myself. And so it's like I'm coming out of it, and then I fall into the depression. Usually then, but back then I would just like wake up one morning and not be able to move, like catatonic depression. And I was depressed for a year, but I don't know how. I remember being desperate, um, for being, I had, I was, I don't remember. I remember being okaying the ECT because I was, I want to say I was depressed, but when I look back at my journals, I was still high when I got the ECT. So I, I'm not sure where I was at when I was hospitalized at this time, but it was for ECT. And I finally gave in because um, that I had just been in torture up and down, feeling horrible about myself, um, making chaos out of people's lives. I was desperate, and every pill wasn't anything they gave me wasn't helping. And um, I okayed the ECT, and I regret it quite a bit. And I'm gonna tell you, what they do is you go into the hospital, the psychiatric hospital, and they do ECT on certain days, and you have a series of um, ECT treatments. And I don't remember how many, 6, maybe. Um, and I remember being, well, first, then they like you wear a hospital gown. You have to wear a hospital gown when you go. And then you go and you get on this table, and there's nurses there. You have an IV. They put something in your IV, and you black out. And then you wake up, and you are stiff. You are confused. You are tired. You're not sure where you are, why you're there, or who these people are. You can't walk on your own. Um, at one of them, I actually wet my bed. That was lovely. It was that sedating. It was like being lobotomized. And then you got a few days to recover, and you get another treatment. I remember being in the recovery area where you're coming out of the short acting sedation, and people who had gotten their treatment were talking to each other. Maybe it was before, but I think it was after. And I remember this one woman saying it was the only thing that worked for her depression. And you be you, and if that's what works, fine. But if you haven't and you're thinking about it, think hard, investigate, research, ask yourself, is it really something you can't get yourself out of in time? So that's what I would suggest. Um, I just didn't have any thoughts about one thing or another while I was there, but I do have proof of my state of mind. I'm a journaler. I journal. I have dream journals started from when I was a teenager. I have that. Um, Unfortunately, my medication, I don't remember my dreams very much. But this is what my um, journal, my handwriting and stuff, This is pretty much what it looks like. Can you see it? It's fairly neat and tidy. Yeah, fairly neat and tidy. I even drew a little picture here. This is from 1997. Yeah, so, not bad handwriting, right? Not bad penmanship. I asked for paper and pen when I was at the hospital getting ECT, so I could journal. And this is what I got. This is my journaling while I was getting ECT. A lot of it. Oh, here's a little. Oh, I wrote what I did for this day. Let's see. Day number 1, 9:30, Dr. Mattingly's office. 10:30, hospital. I guess that's hospital. Noon, cigarette. I only smoked while I was inpatient because I was bored out of my mind. And then when I left, I dropped it. 12:30, lunch. 8:30, relaxation therapy. Sat in front of nurse's station for several hours, just sitting, talking pessimism to one day and optimism. Ativan. Ate at 5:45 dinner. Mom at 6! Exclamation mark. So this is June 12th, 2001. So I was 31 years old. And then it says my therapist's name and some squiggly marks, sparkling diamonds. That has to do with the movie I was obsessed with. So does this at the top. Satine, that was the character in the movie. At the top it says, well, here I am. I'm the hospital with Moulin Rouge in my head. Here we go. Here's Mulan. And then then a few days later, after the treatment, this is the next day. The next day's better. Yeah. See? I'm not going to read it. And then, let's see. His ECT, my Neurontin. I am going to refuse the Zyprexa tonight. The Zyprexa meds made me forget what was a dream or real because I had a lot of vivid, weird dreams. So, okay, so I must have had ECT this day for sure. What the heck? The paint. You can't make it out. Something about paint was nightmare. There's one day. Now this is how many days into it? 4 days. This is my journaling. In the back. am I still... Handwriting is crazy. It's like really jerky. Something about a monkey? Pills. I wasn't frightened. I wasn't scared. I was somewhere real. Was painting and someone was being me about the color. I woke with my hand. Something. I came out. It's just gibberish. Working on some project. Oh, this is about the X-Files. Something about Mulder. I was really into the X-Files. Oh, and I drew a picture. And it looks hilarious. It's supposed to be an elephant, which is part of the Moulin Rouge thing. Let me see. I don't even know what side. I think this side is... I don't even know which side is up. Yeah. Youth, beauty, death. Makes me even more depressed. And... okay. That's not much. That's 16th. I'm almost done here. That's empty. Youth, beauty, death. Youth, beauty, death. Youth, beauty, death. Moulin Rouge. It is probably midnight. This is the 20th. So this is 8 days in. I am tired. I had ECT today. Only number 2. I don't know. That can't be right. It is 2 a.m. I had number 3, I think, ECT. Yesterday. Something about a razor. And that I was supposed to go home soon. Moulin Rouge. Moulin Rouge. Nicole Kidman. She played the character, but I was obsessed with the character, not the actress at this time. There were others, though, that I actually got obsessed with the actress. And just in case you're wondering, it wasn't like a stalker, like I'm in love with them and I want to meet them and I know they love me kind of thing. It was different. I'm not going to go any further with that. I can't remember his real name. Christian. Ewan McGregor. That's the movie, yep. I was trying to remember his name. Sparkling Diamond related to. And so this is... Did I have the year wrong? Yeah, I have 2000 here. This is the 25th. So from the 12th, this is a couple weeks. I had ECT today. I have a hard time remembering stuff. I am something becoming obsessed or getting okay. That I don't know. This looks like some activity we did in the hospital. And this is a letter I wrote to my therapist. I am writing this in the dark, so I can't tell how readable it will be. I have been getting ECT treatments. It's been going okay so far. My mood is better, I guess. Different, at least. Closer to normal. I can't shake the obsession, though. I can't remember so many things, and yet Moulin Rouge persists through my brain. That's there. So that's that. So now is the show and tell part. I was going to show you my journals. Now this was my first nice journal. And it's actually a leather cover. You can take the book out and put a new one in. But I love them so much that I end up just buying them over and over. Okay, so this was kind of weird. I stop and go on this one. Um, yeah, so the journals are going to be a separate video because I'm running behind on my schedule quite a bit. So, yeah, some of them are just really nice and cool looking. Like this, you have to turn it, and I got a Harry Potter one. I have a Game of Thrones one. I get them at the Renaissance Festival. They keep reminding me that I can change the books out, but I just like them. All right, so that's it. I'll show off my journals. It's going to be like a stack this high. I'm only going to show you the stack and pull out the ones that I am particularly in love with and that I haven't used yet. So, all right, bye.